And now the results of our Celebrity Rock Band Challenge. It's Brian Head Welch facing down Edwin McCain. And the winner, Brian Head Welch.
Yeah! Hey, the countdown continues right here. VH1's 100 Greatest Hard Rock Songs. Next up, my personal favorite, an ode to the booty. Here's ZZ Top.
Last in the alphabet, but first in the hearts of rock fans, blues rock trio ZZ Top said howdy to America with 1975's Tush.
I think Tush is one of the greatest under 3-minute rock songs I've ever heard.
Good Texas boogie. They are gods of thunder.
They were one of the biggest draws in the States ever. You couldn't find anybody bigger than ZZ Top.
Tush has got a particular thing to it that no Southern rock and roll has. It's got like a certain pop thing that helps it to cross over.
They just say it like it is. Down home, American rock and roll.
Nobody did the blues thing better than Billy Gibbons in a cool way.
He supposedly taught Hendrix how to play slide.
The guys became unlikely video stars in the 80s thanks to their bitchin' image as slick chick magnets with the best facial hair this side of Santa.
They were really clever with the whole beard thing, and they own it. You know, they're still doing it.
I did hear something about the band being offered a lot of money by Gillette to shave for a commercial. They turned them down. I don't think it's because they're above that. I think they don't have lower jaws.
In 2004, Keith Richards inducted ZZ into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. These days, though all 3 members are pushing 60, they're as damn cool as they ever were.
Tush was their breakthrough song, is a song that just holds up today. It has staying power. It's like one of the great party songs.
In 1986, Swedish rock Adonis's Europe launched The Final Countdown. A sci-fi space odyssey kicked off with the most majestic synth riff of all time.
In terms of total mega cheese bombast, the opening fanfare of this song is unbeatable. It's like God's gift to high school marching bands.
Cinematic and it's dramatic. I do think that it's sort of inspirational, I mean, in a way, and that's what a good hard rock song should do, is kind of inspire.
It's the final countdown. The song scored Europe a ton of fans stateside. Of course, it didn't hurt that frontman Joey Tempest was a babe.
Joey Tempest, one of the most ridiculously pretty rock dudes.
Thank you.
Looks aside, Europe split in the early 90s, but reunited in 2003. Today, they're still on stage, still in the studio, and still in demand.
Europe are one of the few original hair metal bands that's still together with the original lineup.
They can pretty much rest assured that their phone's going to ring sometime in December for some sort of big-time New Year's Eve party, and you know what? They do it, and I would too.
Right now it's time to kick out the jams!
Kick out the jams.
Aggressive anti-establishment and decades ahead of their time, Detroit garage rockers the MC5 tore it up with their 1968 live debut, Kick Out the Jams.
When them MC5 boys kicked out those jams, holy
It's just so intense. It's so up-tempo and just yelling and screaming and belligerent. It sounded like it was ready to fall apart the second it started.
Mr. Marshall, now I understand why you made those amplifiers.
People don't realize, you know, how much rock and roll owes to the MC5.
They really gave us the direction for our group. We wouldn't exist if it wasn't for that band.
Right square into your
I was only like 12 years old first time I heard Kick Out the Jams, and I thought a band that could use the word mother, you know what, I just thought, that's so cool.
Kids came home with this record and put it on, and their parents said, what'd he say? It's hard to imagine nowadays that this one expression would have caused a big crisis, but that's what it was like in 1968.
Despite the ruckus caused by their radical politics and sheer volume, MC5 were done by 1972. After that, each member made music on his own until the 90s when singer Rob Tyner and guitarist Fred Sonic Smith both passed away. Years later, in 2003, surviving members Wayne Kramer, Michael Davis, and Dennis Thompson reformed as DKT MC5 with cult frontman Ian Astbury, and they still kick out the jams with rock royalty.
I played that song with Wayne Kramer countless times at this point, and it is just such in the spirit of what rock and roll is all about. It just lets you know basically how it's done.
Kick out the jams, done kick 'em out.
So you think you're gonna live your life alone, in darkness, in seclusion?
As former Black Flag frontman Henry Rollins, punk pedigree was never in question. And when he released 1994's Liar with Rollins' band, it only added to his hardcore rep.
I just think Henry's a genius. He's hilarious. I mean, how could you not get off on someone screaming at the top of their lungs, "You're a liar"?
Henry Rollins is just so angry. You just look at him, he doesn't look like a rock star. He looks like someone who would beat you up for bumping into them at a bar.
It's weird because you'd think he's like this totally tough guy, but then he's got a sensitive side.
It's true. I still wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah.
The song Liar, myself and my worthy constituents wrote in about 2.5 minutes. I started doing this monologue over the bass line.
I'll hide behind a smile.
You know, you and me, my dear, it's going so well, and you know why? Because I'm a liar. And everyone in the band went, hey, you're a funny guy.
Today, Henry hosts his own talk show on IFC and lights up the spoken word circuit with pieces almost as incendiary as Liar.
I'm mad already. Like, you child. Like, take care of this right here, right now.
Basically, I'm a BS artist. I've done a lot of films. I've written 22 books. I've made I don't know how many albums. Am I good at any of them? I don't know. I would like to think that I'm only getting warmed up.
And I'll keep lying. I promise.
Dude, I think I might need some serious therapy right now. While I recover, how about you check out what's coming up on VH1's 100 Greatest Hard Rock Songs.
Coming up, Survivor creates the ultimate 80s gym soundtrack.
If you were working out in the 80s, at some point that song came up in your mixtape.
Hey everybody, I'm Brett Michaels. You voted, we counted, and now we're working our way down to the #1 greatest hard rock song ever. But there's still plenty of awesome tunes to get through first, like this classic hard rocker from Survivor.
No hard rock song has ever made fans want to stand up and punch something more than the 1982 theme to Rocky III, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger.
Rising up, back on the street.
Sylvester Stallone wanted a band to write music for his opening sequence in the movie. President of our record company said, well, I have a band on our roster. He said, yeah, can they write me a song? And that was it.
If you were working out in the 80s, at some point that song came up in your mixtape.
It will forever be connected with getting in shape and training and working your hardest.
I thought it was a pretty good song, and certainly the relationship with that whole concept of rising above adversity, and that's why even today young people come up and tell me that that's the theme song for our football team.
Shortly after Eye of the Tiger, singer Dave Bickler developed polyps on his vocal cords, and Survivor began to unravel.
There were some bad feelings from my voice. The band sort of felt that it was my fault, and by that time we weren't getting along, so it seemed like the time for me to leave.
Bickler quit in 1983, and Survivor carried on with new singer Jimmy Jamison. Though Dave returned to the band in the 90s, by 2000 he was done for good. Nowadays he's singing for Bud Light's Real Men of Genius ads, and he's teaching music to youngins at a nursery school in Chappaqua, New York.
Obviously, it's great to get up in front of some band and play. But the kids, it's a much more intimate thing. It's apples and oranges, really.
Bolstered by good looks and hard licks, Dokken hit the ground rockin' with 1983's Breaking the Chains.
Sit there thinking in your room. You feel the pressure, you're going crazy too.
I love Dokken. Don Dokken's a good producer, good songwriter. Love him, love him, love him.
George was insane. Don is a great singer, and they were just tight. Rocking with Dokken, what can you say?
Rocking with Dokken, baby. Breaking the chains around you. Nobody else can guide you.
Part of the first wave of hard rock videos on MTV, Breaking the Chains brimmed with 80s cliches.
I didn't never made a video before. And I look back now, I mean, it's hard to watch. It's hilarious. Chains breaking and the bombs and the girl going, I'll come back. But I think everybody made bad videos in those days.
As the band got bigger, so did their problems. By the end of the 80s, lineup changes, Don Dokken's drinking, and a feud between he and guitarist George Lynch ended the group.
George Lynch, he didn't like me, and I didn't like him. We were these two strong-headed people that maybe made for the best for Dokken. And the last time I saw George, he was choking me, so the choking thing that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Today, George Lynch is a bodybuilder with his own band, Lynch Mob. Meanwhile, Don's cleaned up his act, and he's back on tour and in the studio with his namesake band. Their 10th album, Lightning Strikes Again, came out in 2008 after years in the making.
It took 4 years to make the record because the producer was always wasted, and I was the producer. It was cool to do drugs in the 80s. It's so uncool now. And there's some people that survived it and some people that didn't. I survived it.
This ain't no golf game. This is rat and roll.
All decked out with no place to go but up, LA Pretty Boys Rat scurried onto the hard rock scene with 1984's Round and Round.
Out on the streets, that's where we meet.
Rat Round and Round is such a kick-ass song. I'll crank that up every time it comes on.
That's a great tune, Round and Round.
Classic tune.
Classic tune.
Wow. Rat, Round and Round. Incredible tune. The one thing that I can remember is just how simple and how easy that was to create.
The video for Round and Round featured Milton Berle, who actually was related to someone in the band.
He was the uncle of our manager, Marshall. He brought up having Milton in there and a little comic genius, and hence we have this whacked out video.
What more do you want? You got a band with 2 T's and Milton Berle in drag. How heavy is that?
The band played on for nearly a decade but split in 1992 after years of infighting. Steven went off on his own while the other guys continued to tour as Rat. Sadly, guitarist Robin Crosby died of AIDS-related complications in 2002, but the band pressed on and Piercy returned in 2006. These days, they're ready to rat it up again.
I never get tired of going round and round. It's always a pleasure. There's still that element of what we created that we still like, and it's always in the blood.
That's another hour in the bag, everybody. But don't you worry, the 60 best songs in hard rock history are still to come. So you just keep on watching.
Boom, boom, boom.
Down, booga booga boom.
That is air drum par excellence.